Hello, my babies. It's me, Steven. I'm here, and it's time for something that is not Steven's movie adventure, that is not fun interviews with people or follow-ups to Real Talk. It's time for me. Just me to fill you in on a little bit of my life. So recently, and this is a reason that Steven's movie adventure, if I continue doing it, is going to look just a bit different. So I recently got this fire burning under me, and I have decided to do things. I don't know. How I'm trying to say this is not how it's coming out. So I needed some change in my life. And I feel like I was looking around and I realized I have too much stuff. I have just too much around me all the time. It's overwhelming. It's stressful. And this has nothing to do, by the way, with Marie Kondo and the Netflix series about decluttering your life. I have not watched that. I want to at some point, but I've not watched it yet. So just a little disclaimer, this has nothing to do with that. I just reached a point where I was like, hey, I have too much sitting around me. I have too many clothes. I have too many books. I have too many movies. I have too much garbage that I don't need. And so in my head, I'm thinking the focus of my funds needs to be paying down my debt. The focus of my time, even if it's useless, wasted time reading or watching TV, there are better ways to do it than filling my house with clutter and all sorts of things. So we're going to take a little journey real quick around the room, because this may be, to y'all, you may be like, what the fuck is this, Steven? I don't want to hear about this. But to me, this is something that can be very powerful. Something that can be very, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Something that can change the way my attitude is, because my attitude for so long, I felt weighed down. I felt pushed down. And in some ways, I'm always going to, because, depression, anxiety, all those fun things. But at the same time, if I'm not so overwhelmed by all the things around me, I think I can make a better push to be a better me. And while this may not be the most entertaining or hilarious episode of this, I would just kind of ask you to go with me on this and go with me on this journey, because to y'all, it may seem silly, but to me, I have to share that because it's something that I feel can take a weight off. And if any of you've listened to recent episodes, a weight is definitely something I've been feeling. And so, yeah. Cool. So I'm going to pick up my microphone here and turn around in my chair and just kind of take you on this journey. So the volume levels will be really loud and then really quiet, and you'll just never know. It's going to be an adventure for all of us. So I'm staring at my desk right now. There are two desks in my office that sit on the same wall. I sit next to one and I sit in front of one. When I'm recording, it is a small flat top desk that has some padding around it and a blanket behind it of Kylo Ren, because of course it does. And yeah, that's a thing I'm doing. So I'm looking around and I'm staring at my desk, and y'all, it is rough. The desk I'm sitting at is not rough. It's very clean. Got my phone sitting on it, a couple little stickers and stuff, but for the most part, it's very clean. Oh, now this other desk, it is not that way. There's Christmas gifts. There are wonderful things that y'all have sent me that I have yet to find a place for. Journal that I'm supposed to be writing in that I haven't started writing in yet. My planner, a desk calendar. I see Pokemon cards. I don't know where the fuck those came from, because I don't think I've owned Pokemon cards since I was 7th grade, maybe, except for the ones I bought for Chris over Jingle Time. So as I'm looking around, that is a bit overwhelming. But I've got all these amazing Funko Pops lined up across the top of that desk. That was my dad's old roll top desk. It was a desk that when I was growing up. God, this is turning into like a little real talk, isn't it? When I was growing up, I was not allowed near this desk. I mean, this was where my dad conducted business. It was where they kept their files. And he'd be rolling over in his urn. Can cremains roll? I don't know. He'd be rolling over in his grave if he could see the desk right now. So sorry, Pops. It's a bit of a mess, but it's something that when the time came, I did not want to get rid of. I just couldn't. It was a gift from my great grandmother to my dad, his grandmother. Gave it to him, and I couldn't get rid of it. It went to live at my grandmother's for a while, and then I was like, you know what? I want it. As soon as we bought the house, I was like, I want it. As soon as we bought the house, and then a year later, he passed away, and then I wanted the desk. And so I have this desk, and it sits here. It's covered in clutter. I've got to go through that. But I have all these amazing Funko Pops. I've got Legos that I was sent in our gift exchange that I'm so excited to put together. I've actually been saving them because, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I want to put them together, but then I know when I put them together, I'll have no Legos left. So I'm kind of saving them for like a day when I really need to just like unwind and do some Legos. But as I'm staring at the desk, it is a very warm and refreshing reminder of the love and the support that you all show us every single week. It's super awesome. It reminds me that y'all are out there, and for some reason you listen to things like this and you support us and the things we do. And that's incredibly powerful to me, and so incredibly, it blesses my life in a way that y'all don't even know. Y'all have no idea how much of a blessing you are. And so, looking around, there's some things I can't get rid of. Got that Spider-Man What If Volume 2, Issue 4, my first ever comic book. It's framed on my wall. It's worth nothing, but I can't get rid of it. I can never get rid of it. As I'm looking around, kind of continuing around the room, I have all the badges from all the cons I've been to for the podcast, and maybe that's stupid, but I keep them all and like have them all hanging on my lamp because it makes me really happy to see them and attach memories to them and things like that. I really am becoming Marie Kondo and talking about things that bring me joy. I have this thing hanging up in here that my wife burned into wood for me that says our capacity for love increases with each person we cross paths with. Sorry, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be. Increases with each person we cross paths with through our lives and with each moment we spend with those people. That is from the Adventure Zone, which you all know I love, hence the half sleeve tattoo. There's another little bookshelf in here. I like books, y'all. I really like books. And that's the thing I saw that the Netflix series is saying you should keep roughly 30 books in your home. Marie, girl. No, I'm sorry. I love books, and I will never get rid of my books. So fight me, Marie Kondo. That's right. No, please don't. I don't mean it. You're probably very nice. I don't know. Maybe you are. Who knows? I don't know anything about you. But if you're listening, Marie, I'm going to keep those books. I got rid of a lot of stuff, but I'm keeping some books. The reason Steven's movie adventure is going to look different is because I realized I have approximately like 250 movies sitting over there that I have never watched, most of. And most of them, even the ones I have watched, it was like, if I really want to watch this, I could just like rent it another time and just like watch it then. And so I got rid of roughly like 200 movies the other day. I just took them to a secondhand store and sold them. Yeah, I mean, I kept things like my Marvel movies and the Star Wars movies and the Halloween movies and different horror films that I really enjoy, and every single Disney movie I own, because there's no way I'm getting rid of those. I got rid of television shows. The only television shows I am still sitting on my shelf with y'all are the ones that I absolutely could not part with in my life. These are shows that will forever be ingrained into me as a person. It is Avatar: The Last Airbender, Batman the Animated Series, Game of Thrones, Firefly, Community, and The Office. Those are the only shows I'm hanging on to. Because every other show I can find on Netflix. And most of those, if not all of them, other than Game of Thrones, I can find on Netflix and Hulu. I get that. And Yahoo. Not Yahoo. Ooh, God. Who uses Yahoo? If you use Yahoo, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend you, but there are better and safer avenues for you to use. But yeah, I mean, I know I can find them there, but they're just things that looking at, they have memories attached. They bring me joy. Now, here we go. One, the guitars. I mean, my guitars are not going anywhere. One is my baby, and I play it all the time, and I love it very much. The other one hasn't had strings on it in like 5 years, so it's probably like going back to a weird wood mode. I don't know. But it was my first guitar. I can't get rid of it. Then I'm looking at the comic book shelf. This is where it got real, y'all. So anyone who is in the comic book world, the world of graphic art and storytelling, you probably know the term trade waiter. If you're not, allow me to share with you. So a trade paperback is it's a collection of issues. So let's say you want to read, I'll just go with something everybody knows. So let's say you want to read the current Batman series by Tom King. You really should. It's fantastic. So let's say you want to read that series. They release issues every month, or I think Batman right now releases twice a month. I don't know. But roughly most comics, they release issues every month. And then at the end of a 4 or 5 month period or a 6 month period, they will collect 5 issues-ish into a paperback book, which is about the size of a magazine. Like, they're tall. They're the size of a comic book, but just thick and like paperback, not like thin paperback. Does that make sense? Not like comic book paperback, but like, like book paperback. And they collect those and they sell those, and those are called trade paperbacks. And then they collect those into oversized hardcovers. I had like 100 and something trades just sitting on the shelf over here. And as much as it pains me to say, I've been a trade waiter, which is somebody who waits for the trade paperbacks. I've been a trade waiter for a long time. And I had to go into my comic book shop and say, hey, some things are going on in my life. Some things are changing. Financially, I'm just not going to be able to do this anymore. And so I had to cancel my trades. And that sucked. And so I sold at that same secondhand store. God, I'm looking up there, and I sold like 75 of my 100 trades. And that was tough for me, because anybody who listens knows I'm a nerd. I'm attached to my comics. They've changed my life in wonderful ways. They have impacted me and made me feel comfortable being who I am so much, which sounds silly to most of you, I know, because comic books, right? But yeah, I've got Batman. Yeah, I've got Batman. I mean, that's about it for the main drag of things, except for a few certain runs in hardback that I have. But I mean, Hellboy, Lazarus, Saga, Paper Girls, Why the Last Man. Like, we're talking about pieces of literature, and yes, I said literature, deal with it, that are amazing. I mean, and yes, it's the one everybody goes to, but Watchmen, which is a graphic novel, is ranked in the top 25 novels of all time by Time Magazine. Like, this is, graphic novels have things to say. And so what I did was I got rid of a lot of trades, including the series I want to keep. And I'm going to start buying them in oversized hardcover, which come out every year to year and a half. And it's just one, and then you're done for a year and a half. That will save me money. And so I got rid of a lot of series that I want to keep and went ahead and used that money to purchase them in hardcover. So there's less on my shelf, and I'm purchasing them less often and spending less money that way. Because in hardcover, you end up saving money because of the way. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Comic books. Am I right? Yeah, I've just got a lot of things that I don't need. Just things, like, what are things? Why do we need them? Why do we need so much stuff? Maybe it's to make us feel comfortable. Maybe it's to make us feel like we made it. Like, I get it. But like, I was getting obsessed with things. There were times where I would go and I would buy, I'd buy $400 worth of comic book trades, and I would just like on discount too. So there was a lot of them coming, and I would just buy them and just be like, oh, it'll just go on the credit card. Over the holiday season, I bought like $600 worth of vinyl records. Now, about $400 of that was a combination of gift cards and some cash from a bonus and blah, blah, blah. But why didn't I put that bonus in savings? Why didn't I use that bonus on an experience to go do something with Katie, to go do something different, something that I don't get to do? Why did I need to pour things and funds into things? And I've been doing this since I was little. When I was 10, 11 years old and I was working for allowance, and to be completely honest, I was not working nearly as hard as I needed to. I got a stupid allowance, and which, thank you, mother and father. But like, it was way more money than I should have gotten for way less chores than I actually did. And I would go to this store in Winston-Salem called It's About Games. And anybody who listens from there, any friends of mine from growing up that listen, they will remember It's About Games. It was this store, and yeah, it sold video games, and it had arcade games in it. And like, that was a really cool part of it, but that's not what made them their money. What made them their money was card games, collectible trading card games, Dragon Ball Z collectible trading cards, which I spent so much money on, Yu-Gi-Oh collectible trading cards, which I spent so much money on, and of course the granddaddy of them all for kids at that age, and not Magic the Gathering. I know it's a very good game, I get it, but like, Pokemon cards, I probably spent upwards over years, upwards of like $1,000 or more on pieces of paper that have pictures of Pokemon on them. Now, if you're a collector and that's something that brings you joy and you really enjoy doing and it's not affecting your life, like, that's awesome. Like, keep doing that. And I was a kid. And as a kid, yeah, you're supposed to spend money frivolously, I guess, because you're a kid. You want your fun little things. But my mom would always tell me, you're going to look back one day and you're going to think, wow, I wish I hadn't spent all that money on those. And I was like, Mom, I don't think you understand how much my holographic Raichu is going to be worth. And I'm staring at a holographic Raichu right now. That's why that came to mind. I think we found it in Katie's old stuff. And I don't know off the top of my head how much a holographic Raichu is, but you know what? We're going to go on this adventure together. Holographic Raichu, Pokemon card value. It is a first edition. Let's see how much they go for, y'all. Holographic Raichu. Oh, God, what? Hold on. Well, that can't be right. That can't. How much is a Raichu Pokemon card worth? That's a pre-release Raichu. I don't want that. Raichu prices. There we go. Now let's check the Raichu prices at PokemonPrices.com. How you doing, my dear sweet baby? So the version, I don't know what that means even, y'all. Okay, base set Raichu. Here, single Raichu. The highest it has gone for in regular version, which there may have been something special about it, the highest it has ever gone is a whopping $1,852. So, okay, whoa. Lowest is $4.69, and the average price for it is $13. And that's in good condition. Y'all have to imagine, these things have been in boxes, like, they're garbage. Like, they're just, like, a never played with one before is selling for $20 on eBay. Like, Cool. Get it. Like, and some of these are worth a lot of money because they're super rare and blah, 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 blah. But like the ones I was getting are not that. Like, you know, they're just not. And I was so convinced, y'all. In fact, I'm going to put my headphones down for a minute and find this one real quick. It's going to take 3 seconds because I see it. I just have to grab it. I can't hear you, but I never can because you're not really here. You're just listening to a podcast. Anyway, I'm back. Hello, listeners. Okay, so I have a basic fossil holographic Ditto card. And you're probably thinking, what's a Ditto? It's like a weird little glob of poo that's purple. I almost said pink. It's purple, and it's weird, y'all. It's a real weird thing. They also released Dittos that were like other Pokemon. It was a weird time to be alive. Here's the fossil Ditto. Now, y'all, this fossil Ditto, which is a little beat up, I could, for this card, get the whopping amount of $2. So what I'm saying is I spent so much money on these cards as a kid, and they're worth nothing. They're worth nothing. And that's wild to me. I used to go to this store and buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards and Dragon Ball Z cards and toys. Oh my God, Dragon Ball Z toys. I would buy all of them. And why? You know, and maybe I'm just like having a weird like existential thing right here on mic. So welcome to that. But like, why do we do this? Did it make me feel, I mean, momentarily, yeah, it made me feel good. But like years later, like I just threw that card across the room because I'm like, this is useless. What is this? I don't care. Meanwhile, I've got this this comic book I paid 25 cents for that sits on my wall and means so much to me. So like, yeah, like why do we do this, y'all? Why do we spend so much money on things that aren't worth anything? And I'm guilty of it, and I'm going to continue to be guilty of it. That's the thing, is I'm not for a second saying that this is going to change me forever and blah, 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 but I feel better. I feel lighter. I've purged all this stuff, all these things that have been sitting there. And yeah, do I have a shit ton of movies still? Yeah. Do I have a shit ton of books still? Yeah. But I don't feel like I'm drowning. That's a really, really, really good feeling. Yeah. So like this has been something totally out of the norm and something totally different. And I'm sorry if you've hated this, but I just wanted to talk. And like, y'all, it's weird, but like y'all are like my friends, you know? Like I don't keep up with people. I'm really bad at keeping up with people. I want to. I just forget in real life. Like, and sometimes you just want to talk to your friends, and if I forget to reach out because I get so focused on other things, or I'm too worried to reach out because I feel like I've upset some people, like sometimes you just want to talk to your friends, and sometimes it's easier to just come on here and be like, this is something I'm doing in my life, and this is something exciting, and I hope you can understand why it means something to me. And yeah. It's like, thank you for supporting us and showing us love, and showing us really, really, really just how blessed we can be. It's super, super, super cool of you. And thanks for being our friends. You know, thanks for, you know, I know not all of you, but a lot of you are in that group. So thank you for being in the best friends group and getting to know us and all that good stuff. Y'all, I'm gonna get out of here because I don't know. I'm gonna go do something for myself. I'm gonna go better myself. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna eat okay. Because y'all, I quit keto. Boo. It was so garbage. And I understand like people swear by it and you drop weight fast, and I get that, and that's awesome. But like I was passing out at work. Like I was not, it's really good if you do it right. And I was not doing it right, and I don't intend to try to do it right. I am just going to eat better. I'm just going to eat better. And I'm going to work out. I've got to be a better person. I've got to be a better person for me. I've got to take control of my life again. I got to do it for me. I got to do it for Katie. I got to do it for y'all. Because the fact of the matter is, if I keep going at the pace I've been going and not taking care of myself, this adulting won't exist in a year. Because I've been so burned out because I was so focused on trying to work, and with all these jobs, I mean, that's a whole nother story. But I mean, I've been so focused and I've put things out of perspective. My friendships have fallen by the wayside. I kept buying things and spending and spending and spending. And I feel like I've been drowning in debt and drowning in things. And so Marie Kondo, if you're out there listening, I hope you're proud. I haven't watched your show. Maybe I don't know. Like, this is the thing. Like, I hope she's not like a problematic person or something, but like, I support the idea of decluttering your life. Like, that's cool. Now, I don't know how intense I am about it. I'm not going to be like looking at this coaster, this Spider-Man coaster that I've got here, and be like, does this bring me joy? Because the fact of the matter is, it keeps my drink from condensating on my desk while I record. But also, yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a little Spider-Man. But thank you for listening to the ramblings of a isolated... ridiculously anxious, coming off of a really stressful diet. I'm probably still very hungry boy. I very much appreciate it. Also, I've been doing that a lot in this podcast. I realize that my ums are on a totally different level. I've been going I because it's just how I live my life. So thank you so much for everything you do. I guess I want to try to do a Facebook Live while I'm with Chris while we're in Seattle. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm leaving for Seattle on Friday. A little scared because God knows what's happening at the airports right now with TSA and stuff because of the government shutdown. So hopefully I can make our flight and not miss it because of all that. Yeah, we're going to be in Seattle. Like a week from now, I will finally be back home, and I'll be sitting there going, I was on a stage with Meg Bashwinter and Allegra Frank and Justin McElroy and Hannah Hart. And I don't know how to process that. These are all people I've respected and looked up to for so long, and like, woof, So thanks again for everything you do. Without you, we wouldn't be going to Seattle. Without you, there wouldn't be Is This Adulting? And don't take my comment, because I'm anxious and I have to say this. Don't take my comment of Is This Adulting not existing in a year. That's not going to happen. That's why I'm making these life changes. So that I can exist in a year. Is This Adulting can exist in a year. This community can exist in a year. I've got to do something for me, though. I've got to change. So thank you, and I hope that you can all support me in that. I'm going to get out of here before I get emotional, but y'all, we will talk to you on Thursday.